Here I am. This is me.
So, all right. So, dig the move, right? When I say, I was like, well, let me just double, triple check.
And
Okay. Hi.
I'm glad you did.
Okay. Because I was like, hold on now. Let me make sure. Okay. And my queen was good. That's first and foremost. Because I'm
No,
like, I don't care what's happening in this world. If my queen's not good, I'm not good. Same thing for my family. If my family, my friends, my loved ones aren't good, I am not good at
no,
all.
I was literally adult napped. Literally adult napped.
Listen, it's truth in adult napping, okay? Because whoever in the world that don't believe in naps as an adult, I sure enough am one that believes in adult napping, okay?
Yeah.
Because when I say I think it's very important to really just have that downtime, it really is because we are a computer, but we also aren't a computer. So we need to have that downtime. And I was like, let me make sure my queen is good. I was like, let me make sure ain't nobody.
Um, was adult napped.
Oh, listen. Well, first and foremost, good morning, Grand Rising. You look absolutely stunning. I love the earrings. Where did you get those earrings from, girl?
I just haven't worn them in a while, but I've been had these because they're from Yatunde, Yalani.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's her jewelry line.
So we both repping her jewelry line, right?
Yep.
Ah, okay, Queen. Out in Atlanta, honey. We both got your earrings on, honey. Okay.
Shout out, shout out.
Yes. Let me put my Janets away. My Janets was out. La bumba. My la bumbas was out, girl.
So tell me about, before we get into it, I really want to know about this hairstyle because we didn't get into it last time, but you've been rocking this hairstyle for a little second. And I just want to know like the inspiration and stuff. It's very different. I like it. I was just like,
Okay,
oh,
so
it's very different. I haven't seen that before.
I appreciate it, Queen. You know what? Honestly, I feel like this is like a Jimmy Neutron thing going on for like a little bit. Whatever it is, even my manager one day was like, Queen, whatever you did, he was like, you got that pyramid straight up to he was like, you nailed it. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't so I guess every single day just sitting up there playing in the mirror after a while, it's just I don't know, but I want my baldy back though. It's getting a little cold, so I'm trying to like get a little woof up here on the sides to gather the winters that's going to be around my neck on the north side of things because it's brutal out here in the weather and the temperature is brutal. I do miss the South completely, tremendously. I miss the South. So
You,
I,
I got
I,
my tea.
let me see what you got. You got your what?
I got my tea. Ah, hello. I got my tea.
So I have my ginger ale, and I normally put like turmeric, ginger ale in it, and like for my throat, and so me. But we want to hydrate.
Yes, let's hydrate.
Yeah, it's I don't know what's so now. Speaking of hair, I'm noticing that you have a crown going on in the front and it's transcending to the back to the side. So tell me now your inspiration of that.
Okay, so the hairstyle is old. And so I just noticed that it wasn't really giving like it needed to give anymore. It's been harder and harder to like I don't like to put gel in my hair at all. And it's just been harder to smooth out, the edges and stuff. It's just like the hairstyle is old now. And I have been wearing my bonnet like I'm supposed to. So being a bad black girl. So I had to go to like this party and I just was not feeling how my hair was looking. So again, like, just looking in the mirror, start playing around with it. And it's just amazing what happens to Black women when
Mm-hmm.
we're like, our hair is just like, we can't afford for our hair for too long at all to just be like not looking right, because it's just a special kind of not looking right. And so the invention that we have, the artisticness that we have with our hair, I was just like, well, because what I do is, even though it's one side now, I twist like about a third of the, no, I would say a fourth of the hair. No, I'll say a third of the hair.
Okay.
I twist a third of the hair, and then I just wrap it around and connect it with this side with a rubber band.
Well, it's given. I will tell you that it's given because I really do like the crown. To me, it just insinuates like a flower or like a crown, and I've always taught to protect your crown,
Mhm.
So for me, whether if it's a mohawk, and I've been rocking mohawks for like, okay, I'm 42, so I've been rocking mohawks back, I don't know, maybe about 18, 19. And I was the chick that would wear like three different color mohawks in my head. And, so I always was just, very unique when it came to styles like that. So just to be able to see the crown going around, I really love it. It's like the whole hat thing. And you got the mother of the church, she got the hat. She got the biggest hat of
That,
the church. Okay. you
that. Praise the Lord.
It takes a lot to wear a crown. Whether it's a crown on your hair, a crown on your head, a crown on as a hat, it really takes a strong neck and it takes a strong back, to be able to really wear this crown. And we're speaking of crowns and we're speaking of hair. And we're also speaking of this amazing documentary that we honestly like. It just, I still have this love, and one more thing, it was, you said something too about the love, between like a Black girl and her hair, really having a love hate relationship for your hair and really be able to find the dynamics and the comfortability and the power within your hair too. It screams a lot, especially in this movie. And I know we're going to piggyback a little bit on, so if you go ahead and share the name of the movie and where can the people find it at? That's first of all.
Okay. It's called Regina. What's the second part?
Uh,
Like Story Untold or something like that.
oh, that part. Um,
But you can find it on YouTube.
oh, I Am Somebody. Yeah, there we go.
I am somebody's child.
Right. Yep, I Am Somebody's Child.
I am somebody's child. And you can find it for free on YouTube.
And so the director is Janice Cook. I hope that I'm pronouncing your name right. Janice Cook, Cooke. And it was first released on Lifetime April 20th, 2019. And the cast are Angela Farley, Jennifer Goodman, Monique Coleman, Sherry Swam, Saum, Swam, Saum. Help the people will help me. And Kim
Okay.
Hawthorne as Gwen. Okay, so boom. Let's do a real quick, go back to or recap on the part one of, because I think we stopped all the way at until this one. We're going to be talking about the father. The
Yep.
father, more so the mother, and how she met Happy Trails. All right, so boom, go from the beginning of part one.
Yeah, so we kind of moved around a bit, but we were upset about the hair, but understanding that it was like just showing she really didn't have someone to show her how to take care of her hair. Speaking of that, um, we talked about the frustration, but understanding of, it was about back in the day where it was more segregated. So, like, the kind of trying to force her to have a Black family over a family that would ultimately love her and make her feel safe. Um, I
I
think
think it
those
was
were the
crazy.
puberty. What'd you say?
I just think it was crazy.
Really insane. Like the perfect candidate was like, I want to adopt her, and the one was like, yo, why? I don't want no white child for her. Like she didn't talk like that, but that's just how I felt.
No, but I felt like that too. Like honestly, I really felt like it was like all she wanted was a mama. Like, it to me it was just like this again, this little girl was just dropped off and just literally at 13 left to fend for herself. And okay, boom, let's get to the father. Cause like he was pissing me off. He really he really
First of
pissed
all,
me off.
I was like, I was kind of like, was it really about your wife?
Remember, he was like, "Oh, okay." So first of all, when she seen him, how she said his name, Sam. She was like, "Hi, Sam." I don't know if she said hi to the stepmom. Did she?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think she was just kind of like left to be kept quiet, kind of like
Mm.
that whole notion of a woman is to be seen and not heard. That's okay. So you can already tell she already had that. Well, he wears the pants in the house. He says what to do. And so since this is destroying my marriage, she gotta go.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, well, y'all still didn't even like help this little girl out. It wasn't even on the thing of let me just make sure. And she just basically was like, oh, the check stopped coming. And I'm like, oh.
Yes.
So he paid this chick to take care of his baby.
Mm-hmm. But the checks stopped coming, and I guess Regina was not acting perfect because apparently children, that's what they do is act perfect all the time, especially when they have PTSD and parental issues and stuff like early parental issues, stuff like that. They just still should act perfect. People think that yes, we expect for children to live in clean homes and, have food and XYZ, but children will literally stay until they can't stay. They, as long as they feel love, the first thing is they have to feel love. Like it's very simple, and they will try and deal with a lot of things. Not that they should, but it's just plenty of like, unfortunately, people in America that are like literally struggling. Sometimes their kid can only, without like literally without the school system, their kid maybe wouldn't eat or would only eat maybe once a day, maybe not every day, and not full meals. Like they gotta make a mayonnaise sandwich or something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
With the
so
middle.
I've heard a cheese sandwich and a mayo sandwich before. I've heard it. The point I'm trying to just get through when I hear that is bread and just mayo.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody,
Yeah.
I also heard syrup sandwich, like the syrup in the bread.
Yep.
I mean, but I wouldn't mind the syrup in the bread though, because
I
then
love
now
that.
I would
I
feel like
need.
a French
I've tried that
toast.
before. I think I tried it before just to have it, but no, people be struggling, or they'll have a peanut butter sandwich because they ain't got no jelly, or they'll have a jelly sandwich because they don't have any peanut butter.
Now, if anyone out here has ever eaten a peanut butter sandwich, let me just give you a hug right now. Because first of all, I love peanut butter. Okay. I love PB&J. Okay, that's why we gotta shake the PB&J shake. Okay. I love peanut butter. It's very sustainable. It's amazing. But do you know how strong you gotta be of a person to eat a peanut butter sandwich with no moisturizing in between the layers?
Yep.
I just want to tell y'all out here in the world, we love you.
We love you.
We love you
It's
so
like
much.
people be struggling,
Yes.
and like so back to the father. It's just like to do that to your child. And the way he's talking and stuff, I'm thinking, okay, you've heard of therapy. There has to be some kind of like counseling or something like that. Like he doesn't look poor. They were dressed well. Like he got
Right,
like,
that's what I was looking at too.
but I've heard, and I don't want this to sound bad, but I have heard that, some men, if they feel like they've messed up, they will like ignore the previous family and make a new family.
That's interesting.
I think that's what that was.
Yeah. I can see it though. I can. It was just kind of like because when he made the reference before he said before I gave my I don't know if he said before I gave my life to God or before I was whatever basically to state like he was this different man. I believe it basically stating like before he gave his life to God. You
Mm.
know, he was this different man and he had relations with Regina mom. This is what he said. And I'm like, so when you was out here hoeing, that's all I heard.
Yeah.
So when you was out here hoeing and slaying,
Mm.
it didn't matter. But now since you not hoeing and slaying no more, which that don't mean nothing, now is bunk all the kids prior. And I think that is really sad. But I have known to have heard people like that in the world. You know, I didn't get a chance yet to look up, but I really wanted to look up the statistics. There we go. The statistics of without the father being in the home. You know, I'm still going to do it, but I really wanted to, to do that, especially for this episode. And again, we're going to still be touching a little bit on this movie until it's over with, because I really think that is an important thing to share, because people, this is happening all over the world. This is happening in every other home, so maybe about 7 to 12 people on your block, you may not even know, maybe for one, eating that peanut butter sandwich without no jelly, and then for two, going through this, like I'm being fend to left for myself, at such a young age. And the one person that wants to be my mama can't because our races or our ethnicities don't align. But
Yeah.
you know what? That would be the perfect mother
Yeah.
for to bring this child into the world. Like, biracial marriages, I'm sure it's in your family, it's in my family, we're Irish and Blackfoot Native American, and I actually got into an argument many years ago with a Spanish young lady and wanted me to basically deny one side of who I am. Like, oh, well, because of the rape and all. And I'm like, I get all that, but am I supposed to deny my Irish side of the family because of everything that has happened in the world? That's still a part of me,
Well,
and now that,
something that you're talking about and that I realized is, first of all, the idea of race is made up and new.
correct.
And it's really for so much longer, I would say since the beginning of time, it's been about it's been about tribes.
Yeah.
And we've lost that.
Yeah.
And I know they did that on purpose. And I know they did that on purpose
That
because,
right.
and people came over here, they were not called white. If they came from Europe, they were not called white. They distinguished themselves from their, what we call countries now. But before, there were like countries, there were kingdoms and villages and stuff, and within those tribes and stuff. And so, it wasn't like, oh, this white person from the Netherlands, it was a Dutchman.
Yeah.
It was not, oh, this white man from Scotland. It was a Scotsman. Like that was the language. The white man, that was a thing that the elites kind of like created to begin
Right.
separating. And slowly but surely other, what we call today, white people, um, other people started getting in there, because before it was really mostly like Englishmen, Frenchmen, maybe I think Spaniards. I don't think Irish people were included in that because they were
Nope.
called like the blacks of um,
Yeah.
uh, uh, Great Britain or whatever. So it's a lot in the language and it's a lot in the rhetoric and trying to push agendas forward and things. So, I mean, if you came to me and said, oh, I'm Irish, I would be like, okay. Like, I
Like,
would be okay. If you said I have Irish in me, then I would be more so like, oh, cool, okay.
right.
Because yes, Black Americans, what we call Black Americans, we all have white in us or like some kind of native also in us. That's what makes us the typical
Mhm.
Black American. That's what it distinguishes us from Africans or Caribbeans. Like we're not a monolith. You know, we have different things and we are different. Like I'm learning more about Jamaicans and they have West Indian and
Mhm.
um Indian. You know, Indian in them and they don't deny that at all. They don't deny that. So why should we? You know, why should we?
Yeah. I hear that often. I'll be like, well, whatever. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, my great grandfather was pure white, red hair, Irish man with red hair, And so to like know that he got with my great grandmom and my great grandmom and them, had my grandfather. And it's just like, okay, so to be able to know where I come from and, know my side of the family. And unfortunately, Regina didn't have that. She didn't have that. Like, she wanted to know who she was. She wanted to know from the rip, like, you know, why is my hair this way? Or, the things that she started to do, she started to question. Now she's being around other cultures and other people like, well, what is going on? Why am I different than you? So to be able to see the father automatically, oh my gosh, wait. And the one thing he said, he really pissed me off. Hold on. He pissed me off when he was like, hold on, I wrote this sucker damn child. Listen. What he said? He said, know your father in heaven
Oh,
loving you. Learn to put your faith in him. I'm like, oh, you want to quote the Bible after you done threw this kid away? Hold on.
yeah. I was like, if we're gonna quote the Bible, let's quote the Bible because like there's a quote that says, oh, I should say there's a verse that says, um, where Judgment Day, people go up to God and God's like, who are you? And the person's like, what do you mean? I fasted in your name. I, prayed. I casted out demons in your name. I did this. I did this. I did this. And he says, depart from me, for I never knew you.
Mm.
And it's like, it's not about the actions, it's about your heart posture and understanding that when you're a Christian, it's like understanding that there is nothing that you can do to get yourself to heaven. It's by grace. But your heart posture is supposed to be why you do things. And if you cannot take responsibility for your actions of bringing a child into this world, and at the very least, ensuring that they are in a safe home, if you do not have the ability to personally take care of that child, at least ensuring that they are in a safe home. And when if you know they run away, not to call the police, not to worry or anything like that. It's like, that is despicable. But you go to church every Sunday. Okay.
He pissed me off. And I just was like, the nerve of him. I was like, how are you going to sit up here and do something so devilish, but then turn around and quote such this holy, this holy vibe? And I'm like, wait. All right. But now I did like the part when Miss Happy Trails, yeah, Miss Happy Trails, how she just was like, well, do you have the mom's phone number? You know, and I was so thankful that he did give. But damn, when you just get dropped off from your mama and your daddy,
Yeah.
you
But
ain't got no.
how did he have the mom's phone number if he want nothing to do with her?
Well, I guess that was in his backsliding days in that black book.
I thought you was done and everything. So how you have her number, but you done? Didn't delete the number?
Girl, he had to pray all the way in the car, girl. He prayed all the way in the car because I mean, I don't know. To me, my heart really went out to Regina when she literally like was underneath the table
Mm.
and she just broke down. And girl, my heart really went to her because just continuing diving deep into the story, and you go into the point of the what was the name of the Miss Ford, but what was the I forgot the association name she was with. Um that I didn't write down. However,
For care.
okay. So wait, because now I'm going a little bit too forward. Hold on. Because okay, so we talked about the swimming scene. The part I really want to honestly talk about was when she did finally get adopted out.
When she finally,
Not adopted out.
yeah,
I'm
fostered,
sorry.
yeah.
Yes, the foster family.
Mm-hmm.
And she had her menstrual. Like let's real quick. I don't know if I'm jumping forward, jumping ahead, but
It's okay. Yeah, we got to move on.
so what was your intake like when she got up and she just was like, my stomach was hurt? She was like, oh, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, when somebody when a prepubescent or whatever is like, oh, my stomach hurt, I don't feel good, and they're not sniffling, their throat don't hurt, they didn't eat something crazy, it's like, oh, welcome.
Okay. Welcome to the but did you see how the welcome came? She straight made her feel like it was her fault that she got kicked out of the foster home because her menstrual came on, something that naturally happens. Like,
Yeah. And really it came late. Like, how old is this girl? For
she
us
was
anyway.
she was 13.
I mean, I know that's the normal age, but again, this is back in the day before the food got crazy, putting all the chemicals and stuff. Because I was 10 when I started.
I was 8 when I started. I was in the 4th grade, girl.
Oh,
My mama wrote a note to my 4th grade teacher, a Mrs. Shoemaker. Okay, I still remember. Okay. She was like, dear Mrs. Shoemaker, can you please let her stay inside because she had just got her menstrual. And that's back when the desk, the chair and the desk was connected, okay, and it was wooden, okay. And we're not talking about IKEA wood, okay. It's cute. We're not talking about cute. We're talking about heavy, back in the day wood that you can only now find in the secondhand shop, okay? So that's the only place you're gonna find some good wood, okay? And when I say it was just so uncomfortable, and the way that she got welcomed into it was like,
she was so mean. The foster mom was so mean. Like, I thought I was getting a child. Da, da, da. It's like, you still have a child. She's a minor. This is what happens with girls. And it's like, people don't think about it, but boys go through a different thing, but it's still puberty. Like, their balls drop or whatever.
yeah,
Censor, but not censor, because if we can talk about menstruation, then we can talk about balls, whatever.
oh, that's
But
right. We talk about it
it's
here.
like for them to be able to have children and stuff, them things got to drop or whatever. Like, nobody be like, oh, he can get somebody pregnant. Oh, da, da, da. It's always on us. It's always on us.
Yeah, I agree.
It
I
takes two.
agree.
It was it's just like, if you wanted a child, you should have gotten a 5-year-old.
Okay. But even if she did went and got a 5-year-old, you know what would have happened with the 5-year-old? It still would not have been enough. Because she was like, oh my God, you pooped on me. Let me take you back. And even going one step forward, everyone is not meant to be a parent. Everyone is not meant to be a foster parent. Everyone is not meant to be in that authority space, to be able to get that. And sometimes, listen, you ever been somewhere and you're like, oh, you do not like your job. Like, you just,
Yeah. Yeah.
they just pay
All
you
the
really
time.
well to be here. Okay. I'm like, this is one of the stories of people pay money and just pay money for kids and kids and kids. And it's like, you're not even taking care of them. You're not even giving them the well-being. And then those are the relationships that we get into, you know, the one that the mama that smacked the living out of the boy. You ain't never. And then you wondering why now the man can't hug. The man can't cry. The man can't be emotionally available because he was only taught that it was wrong to be that, or it was a sissy move. You know, don't act like a girl because you're crying. And it's just like, wow. And these are the people that are raising our children. These are the people that we come in contact with every single day, every day.
And it perpetuates generational curses. Just go down the line, and people are like, "Oh, I didn't have that. I didn't have that." And it doesn't matter. You know what went wrong. Like, I love when people say, "I know my parents showed me how to do it wrong." So I just knew not to do what they did. And like, that's an excuse when people are like, "Well, I didn't know," or blah blah blah. It's like, no. You, first of all, if you know you have trauma, there is therapy.
Yes.
And it helps because you can't control if you're triggered, but you can control what you do with those triggers.
Say that one more time, because I feel like everybody needs to hear that one more. Say that one more time.
You can't control if you are triggered, but you can control what you do with that trigger. Life is always going to test you. That's the point of life. I had to learn that. Life is not just da 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 da. Watching too many TV shows where it's like, oh, by the end of the episode, everything's gonna be back to normal. And
And
then
then
the
guess
new
what?
episode is a new test, and then it's back to normal. No, this is not That's So Raven. Like,
And then another one come. And then another one come. Like, and then it's like you up here doing pop, lock, and dropping. You like, what happened? And then we go back to that power nap of being an adult and having those adult power naps. So some things are priceless. Okay. Those things are priceless. We are going to stop here. We are going to come next Talking Tuesday for part 3. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about
I want to get into the crazy house.
Oh yeah, that's the part the prejudiceness, because now they made her think that she was really crazy. Yeah, that's next week. That's definitely next week. So make sure, if y'all have not checked out this movie, it is on YouTube and it is a free movie. So you cannot say, "Oh my God, Queen, and yeah, she made us pay for it." No, we didn't. Just pay your phone bill. That's it. Or go to a free library. That's it.
Yep.
Okay? And just check it out with us. It is, make sure I say it right, but the people in the front and the back. All right, I Am Somebody's Child. Make sure, because it is another one too, but it's not that, like, the, you know how like the movies titles be close but they not, and it's like one word out. It's another movie that says, I think it's like Somebody's Child. I think that's the name of that one. But this one we're talking about is I Am Somebody's Child.
Regina. Yeah.
The Regina Louise story. So we already did part 1. This is part 2. And next week we will do part 3 of, stay tuned. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about addictions. We're talking about abandonment. We're talking about neglect. We're talking about sensory molestation and rape, or the lack thereof, or touching, fondling. We're talking about a lot of things. So next week it will be very, very sensitive. So stay tuned for more. All right. Welcome again, our co-host Yams and ATL and JSM. We love you. We love you to pieces. Our other co-host in ATL. I love you, Poe Greedy. All right. Make sure, if you have not checked out those hubby hoodies, make sure you get you a hoodie today. Oh, a Queen Stumbling, a hoodie today. And it is I Just Work Here. Remember, we all just work somewhere until we are arriving to our destination and our purpose. Thank you so much for joining the QJS show, formerly known as the Queen Juicy Shake Show, where we're always connecting, and I didn't say that right, but where we're always discovering and rediscovering a personal connection to oneself, and others are encouraged, inspired, and motivated on a daily. As we love to say here at number 4, freshblend.irish. Get green, get going, peace, love, and always ashe. You did a great job. I love you, Queen. And
Love
you
you,
look
Queen.
beautiful. See you next time, Queen. Ashe.
See you next time.